Hi, I'm Greg Lamberson, the creator of Slime City. I'm coming to you from Buffalo, New York. I currently look like a homeless person because I just finished my most recent film, Killer Rack, and I'm in the middle of preparing a film festival I run called Buffalo Dreams Fantastic Film Festival, and this is what happens when I'm juggling many hours-consuming projects. I want to thank everybody sitting in this theater, however many of you there are. You are watching a film print of Slime City. It is actually a film print that was struck for its original midnight run back in 1988. We only made 2 prints, and this one was last seen in Seattle 5 or 6 years ago. I'm told it's in good condition, but you may be the last people to see this film in this state ever. I'm not a fan of this version of the film, actually. It's the version that was released on VHS in 1989 by Camp Motion Pictures. And when it was re-released on video by Pop Cinema under their EI label 10 years later in 1999, I took the opportunity to cut 6 minutes out of the film that I found excruciating to sit through because of my inexperience as a screenwriter and as a director. I was 18 when I wrote this film, 21 when I shot it, and 23 by the time we finished it. Because after we completed production, we took time off during editing to work on both Plutonium Baby and Frank Henenlotter's Brain Damage, and things just took forever. It was a lot slower back then working on film. Camp Motion Pictures released the original VHS version. A famous story about how the guy who ran that company got in trouble with the mafia and suddenly disappeared, owing us and many other filmmakers like Fred Olen Ray a lot of money. Either he went into hiding or they got him, or he's in witness protection. 10 years later, the film was re-released, as I said, 1999. This was sort of the death period of VHS, when the distributors were coming up with all sorts of gimmicks, like this fancy cover, to attract buyers. Pop Cinema released the film on DVD, 2004, and again in 2009, and just recently it appeared on Amazon Instant. So it's a film that continues to survive despite the flaws I see in it. There's a period of many years where I couldn't even watch this film. I know Frank Henenlotter felt the same way about Basket Case. But once I was able to reconcile myself that I had made a comedy and not the horror classic that I wanted to, I learned to enjoy it quite a bit. This is the meat cleaver that we used in the film. I didn't hang on to it all those years. It belonged to Scott Coulter, our special makeup effects artist, who has since gone on to become a big CGI artist. He did all the bullet hits and all the gore in the Rambo films and the Expendables. When we shot Slime City Massacre 22 years later here in Buffalo, I messaged Scott just to say, by any chance, do you happen to still have that meat cleaver? And he did. So here it is, back in my possession. And this is the poster that we actually used for the midnight run. It played for 5 weekends at the Bleecker Street Cinemas in New York City. And it's been licensed to 10 films around the country. So even though myself and my investors have seen very little money on this film because of the different distribution things that happened, it continues to thrive, I guess. A week doesn't go by when I don't get a message from somebody who's a fan of the film. And I wanted to do something special for this, the 25th anniversary, and I've just been so busy with books and other film projects that I really didn't get to organize anything. So I was thrilled when Joe Ziamba from the Drafthouse, the Alamo Drafthouse Empire, contacted me and said he'd like to show this film, because I've always wanted to play there. And I would be there now, sitting in the audience with all of you, or with a few of you, if I wasn't busy with my own film festival right now. So, anyways, again, thank you for coming. Do me a favor, try and seek out Slime City Massacre. That's another one that's had horrible distribution problems because of media blasters. If you see any DVD copies, snap it up because they're not printing them anymore. It's essentially out of print. You can only watch it on YouTube. Pay them $3 and you can watch my movie on YouTube. Yay! But I think it's a very good film, Slime City Massacre, that is. If you like this film, it's definitely worth seeking out. Later this year, a company called Strange Discs will be releasing the soundtrack on a vinyl edition, and that'll be a lot of fun. But I'm not there, so please laugh as long and as hard as you can.